Okay.
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Henry. Mr. Cruz, what is the problem with you having Ace on the same schedule that you have Gigi on?
There's no problem at all. I've always had a desire to spend time with my son. The reason why I didn't pick him up is because I didn't want to create a fight and confrontation with the mother of my child because I know that's not what she wanted me to do. She insisted that for me not to pick up my son. So, in order to have some type of peace, unfortunately, I had to,
Welcome back to Family Court Drama. In today's episode, we're diving into a child support hearing. The state is pushing for the father to pay $827 in child support and $200 in cash medical support, along with granting him a standard visitation schedule for both children. The mother, however, is requesting special visitation for their youngest child, arguing that the child is very dependent on her and she doesn't feel comfortable with the father having him unsupervised until he's older. The father, on the other hand, claims he's fully capable of caring for both children and says he only agreed to take just his daughter in the past to avoid conflict with the mother. Let's see how the judge rules on this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You may both lower your hands and you may proceed, Miss Sweet.
Thank you, Your Honor. First need to call Mr. Cruz for service on the record.
yes,
Sir, what is your full name?
Brandon Jamie Cruz.
And have you received an email copy of the state's petition this morning?
Yes,
Before today, had someone come to your home and handed you a copy of that document?
no,
Do you understand your right to be personally served at your home with a copy of the state's motion?
yes,
Are you willing to waive that right and accept the email copy?
yes,
Do you also understand that you have the right to request this case be reset in order to file an answer?
yes, ma'am.
Are you willing to waive that right and go through with the terms of an order today?
Yes,
Your Honor, I would request the record and odyssey be updated to reflect Mr. Cruz has waived his right to personal service and citation.
The record will so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are here on an agreed temporary order in suit affecting the parent-child relationship and also a referral of this case to the district court. The only issue we would need to take testimony on, Your Honor, would be both parents are requesting a non-disclosure of their address. If I may read the terms and then take testimony.
Okay.
Your Honor, there are two children. Thank you, Your Honor. There are two children before the court. Gianna Cruz, born July 5th, 2020, and Ace Cruz, born February 11th, 2023. I would like to offer into evidence what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibits A and B, the acknowledgments of paternity attached to the state's petition filed February 9th, 2024.
States Exhibit A and Exhibit B are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Parents have agreed that they will be joint managing conservators of the children, with Miss Henry having the exclusive right to determine the children's residence within Dallas or any surrounding county, and as well as the right to apply for a passport for the children, renew the children's passport, and maintain possession of those passports. Parents have agreed to a standard possession and access order for the eldest child, Diana, and a modified possession and access order for Ace due to his age. That modified possession and access order for Ace includes the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of every month from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. until further orders of the court. And parents have agreed to the exchange location at Kroger in Coppell, Texas. Parents have agreed that Ms. Henry will apply for or maintain government medical assistance for the children, and that Mr. Cruz will pay cash medical support of $200 a month beginning June 1st, 2024. Any additional healthcare expenses to be paid by the parents 50-50. Parents have also agreed to set child support to guidelines in the amount of $827 a month, also beginning June 1st, 2024. And there's also a step down for when there's only one child before the court to the amount of $661 per month. Retroactive support and court costs will be reserved for a final hearing. and both parents are requesting a non-disclosure. If I may call Miss Henry.
You may.
Miss Henry, what is your full name?
Diana Biera Henry.
And did you hear the terms I read to the court?
Yes.
Do you understand those terms?
Yes.
Are you in agreement with those terms and believe in the best interest of your children?
Yes.
And do you understand that this order is temporary?
Yes.
Do you understand that the issues of retroactive support and court costs will be reserved for a final hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that this case is being referred to the district court?
Yes.
Are you in agreement with this case being moved to the district court?
Yes.
Do you understand that we don't have a hearing date yet, but when we do, I will email you a notice of the court proceedings?
Yes.
Do you have safety concerns between yourself and Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
And what are those concerns?
As far as like he can get really disrespectful, and I don't like that because he can be in front of my kids, and I don't want my kids to see that. As far as
So do you believe that Mr. Cruz having your address or phone number would cause you any harassment, abuse, serious harm, or injury?
yeah, more of like I can say harassment, but I just prefer like my address to be undisclosed. As for now, he know where I live, but like for future reference, just when I move where I live now.
Would you still be in agreement to your email address being included if the court does grant you a non-disclosure?
Yeah.
You just don't want your address or phone number being included, is that correct?
I mean, he have my phone number, more of my address.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, I pass the witness and would like to recall Mr. Cruz.
You may.
Mr. Cruz, did you hear the terms I previously read to the court?
Yes,
Do you understand those terms?
I do.
Are you in agreement with those terms?
Temporarily, yes.
Do you believe that the terms are in the best interest of your children?
Temporarily, yes, but no.
So do you understand that this is a temporary order?
Yes,
And do you understand that this case is being referred to the district court?
yes,
So on a temporary basis, you're in agreement with the conservatorship and possession and access schedule as I previously read to the court. Is that correct?
yes,
But in the future, you're requesting or planning to request a different type of possession. Is that correct?
yes. I'm requesting 50-50 only because prior to last year, my daughter has been living with me, and she took that away from me when she found out about my relationship with my wife that I currently live with.
So do you understand that that is the reason that we are requesting that the case be referred to the district court?
Correct. Yes.
And do you understand that we do not have a date for a new setting at this point, but when we do, I will email you a copy of that notice.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are also requesting a non-disclosure of your address and phone number. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be in agreement with your email address still being included in the order?
Is there like an app, like a co-parenting app, maybe we can use to communicate? I don't know if you guys can suggest one or.
Do you understand that if any parent files pleadings in the future that they would have to serve the other parent at least through email?
That's fine. Email is fine.
So would you be in agreement to your email address being included in the order?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that Ms. Henry having your address would cause you harassment, abuse, serious harm, or injury?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Because she's appeared once or twice without my permission.
And were the police involved in either of those incidents?
Yes.
Your Honor, I pass the witness and would request a ruling as to the both parents' request for non-disclosure.
When you say she appeared without your permission, what do you mean she appeared?
So long story short, I went to go pick up my daughter from the daycare. I communicated with her, letting her know, hey, I'm picking up Gigi. You'll have her by, tomorrow or whatever. She kept insisting on not for me not to do that, even though I have every right because I'm her father. And she came to where I was living at the time with my wife, and she appeared with the police. The police called me because she called the police saying that she thought her daughter was in danger. The police called me on my personal cell phone. They said if it was okay if I can come down there and meet them because they were already here. I did so. I brought my daughter with me. I saw Yana with a friend of hers with the police there. And then the police asked me if they can come to my apartment where I was living with my wife. I was like, "You guys are more than welcome." They came, they inspected, and they said there was nothing wrong. They didn't believe that the child was in danger. That I have every right to be with my daughter, because not until now there was nothing in
Okay, but
place.
we shouldn't have that problem now because there is a visitation schedule in place. Then there was no visitation schedule in place. And so that precipitated that incident. So
Correct.
now we should not have that problem. And now there's really no reason for a non-disclosure. She hasn't
Yes, ma'am.
threatened anybody. She hasn't hit anybody. She hasn't tried to fight anybody. You haven't threatened her. You haven't hit her. You haven't done any of those things, right? So now everybody should be able to act like an adult, follow the order that we're getting ready to put in place, and there should be no problems. What I need to know is how old is Ace?
Ace is a year and a few months, about 3 months.
Is Ace being breastfed?
No.
Okay, then why can't Ace go and why can't his dad have standard visitation with him?
As far as I just feel like I talked to him multiple times because Ace is very like so much dependent compared to Gianna. Because with Gianna we had like a different schedule. I mean, I lived with him when I had Gianna. So with Ace, he's very dependent, and prior to that, he never
When you
wanted to
say
stay.
he's very dependent on what?
Like most of the times, like have to he wakes up like every other 2 hours or 3 hours. I have to give him milk every other 2 hours. And prior to that, he never wanted to spend time with Ace. Like when I had to go to work and him to help me drop him at the daycare because my schedule I start at 6 in the morning and I had to drop Ace like 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Henry. Mr. Cruz, what is the problem with you having Ace on the same schedule that you have Gigi on?
There's no problem at all. I've always had a desire to spend time with my son. The reason why I didn't pick him up is because I didn't want to create a fight and confrontation with the mother of my child because I know that's not what she wanted me to do. She insisted that for me not to pick up my son. So in order to have some type of peace, unfortunately, I had to, do that because I didn't. This
Do
is
you
all
have a
brand new.
problem getting up with Ace in the middle of the night feeding him?
Absolutely not. I did it with my daughter.
Okay. I don't see the need for the special visitation for Ace. I feel like he should have standard visitation for Ace. I will refer this to district court. This is a temporary order. It could change in the future. There will be no non-disclosure for either party. Nothing that they said rises to the occasion for giving non-disclosure.
Your Honor, in that instance, would the pickup and drop-offs be at either the child's school or Miss Henry's residence? Or can they still be at the
Where
Kroger?
were the exchanges? Oh, they were to take place at the Kroger and Capel. You guys can still do the Kroger and Capel if that's what you want to do. But if not, the pickups and drop-offs will be at their house where they live on a permanent basis, which is with their mother. Okay? But if y'all agree, if y'all talk about it and y'all agree to do it at Kroger, that is fine with me. I just won't require that it be done at Kroger. Okay. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
What is it?
So I know this part, I don't know if this goes with you or the district court, but I do have a witness and I do have proof that my daughter was living with me prior to last year.
Yeah, that's something that is not before me right now. You don't have any pleadings on file for that. So that's something that you guys are going to discuss in district court. And that judge will decide. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
No, ma'am. Not on my
Okay.
part.
A
Yeah,
question, ma'am?
as far as pickups, he's been picking up our oldest daughter, Gianna, at the daycare. So
If that works for y'all and Ace is at the same daycare, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Whatever works for y'all. Okay. You understand that, Mr. Cruz? Whatever's been working for you guys continue to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything further? No further questions? Nothing from you, Miss Sweet?
No, Your Honor, nothing further
All
from the
right.
state.
Then thank you both for appearing here today, and you're both free to go.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And that's a wrap on this case. The judge ruled that the father will pay $827 in child support and $200 in cash medical support, and granted him standard visitation rights for both kids. The judge disagreed with the mother's request for special visitation and decided it was in the best interest of the children to allow the father equal time with both of them. So what do you think? Did the judge make the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more family court drama.